I just want to thank you, excuse me, for your talk today, because I am currently going through a dark night of the soul and been sitting with it and had this like an actual understanding of not knowing anything. And then I sat with it and have been sitting with it. And I found myself reaching for where did it go? Where did the known, or what is this known? And how can there be anything that, and it's just been really tough. Because I do feel a sense of everything that you described, why am I even doing this? And, just forget about it. And I do understand that it just kept getting big, and it's oh, forget all this, forget beliefs, forget what's belief anyway. And all this stuff just kept coming up. And I thought, I'm done with this. I've been doing this for a long time and I'm so done. What's the point? Right. And then I was ooh, this is good. I need to sit.
It is good. And that when one is expressing that actually is progress on the path. Believe it or not, that's progress, even though it sucks. And it's really hard. Oh yeah, every time it's hard.
Yeah. And it's a different experience of the thinking mind of the unknown. It's more of a felt sense of it's humbling and yet really scary at the same time.
Good. Well, then let's just just as you said that, you started to expand. So good. That's enough of understanding and a sense of perspective and attitude. And just notice how there's a deepening happening now, a connection, if you're aware of that yet. And if you're not, notice what you are aware of. Because that expression opens something up. But something's still holding here. Yeah. And what that is now there's no judgment for this, but that is stopping it.
Yes.
Okay. This is the fact that can you close your eyes?
Okay.
Can you perceive that what I'm talking about right now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, then you need know nothing. Just be present in front of that, period. There you go. Just be with it. I'm with you. That's it. You can't push the river on evolution. You just can't. Okay? So if it's a wall that's impenetrable and that you can't get over or through, just sit there. Just be there with this impossibility. Don't think about it. There you go. Better. Thinking isn't helping you.
My teeth are chattering.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's just energy moving. Good. Yeah.
John, I'd like to share the familiarity of this. I know the story shouldn't get into it, but I feel important to voice it.
Sure.
When I was in my 30s, I came to a point like this before. I had been on a 40-day retreat, and I came to this point, which this feels very, very familiar, and this deep sense of fear that I had never experienced before came up, and it was so scary, and it kept I'm going to try to put it into words. It's it kept rising and rising, and the fear was so great. I was hell no, I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So you stopped it.
Yes. And then upon reflection, I understand that could have been the turning point.
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
No. That's a belief. That's actually not
Got
true.
it. Okay.
No. Let's sit with this. This is very important that we look at this.
All right. Thank
Many
you.
people have these beliefs of this sort of thing. Not
Okay.
true at all.
Okay.
Now
Thank
you
you.
can believe it's true and suffer. I'm not going to prevent you from doing that. But but honestly, let me explain, if I may,
Yes, please.
my perspective on this from my experience and with myself and others is that very natural to have that belief. I had it for years. Every time that happened, oh, if I'd only I'd be on the other side. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Mm-mm. This is where we really need to understand that we are not in control of this. We are not making this happen. That the evolutionary force of healing and transformation is not our job. Our job is to get out of the way of it. And that thought and that belief is actually in the way of it. In other words, as long as there's a stopping of that fear, there isn't a readiness on a level that is part of your whole integrated ecosystem of consciousness and being on a relative and absolute level. It's not your time. It's not because your time isn't when you want it or when someone tells you it's going to happen or some psychic that you forked a ton of money out to told you it was going to happen or your astrologer. None of that. Forget it. Those are all knowings. No. The evolutionary transformative force will do it when it's time and not before. So I eventually just gave up and just said, okay, I'm stopping it again. There it is. I'm stopping it again. And I just accepted that I couldn't push. I did everything. I was on super long retreats and powerful the whole thing, the whole 9 yards, all of it. Meditated endless hours, endless years. Okay. So, and I pushed because I was somebody who was conditioned as an ego to push, to get it done, to achieve it, to make it happen, to be done, to move on to the next thing.
Yes, I understand
right.
all of that.
Right. As I jokingly used to say, I made type A look catatonic. So I know this trip well. And I was forced to surrender. And I wasn't somebody who easily surrendered. I would kicked and screamed the whole way.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
so
understood.
I can see Ramana over there smiling. I love you, Ramana. He's with us. No, that energy is with us.
Yes.
Anyway, so it will happen when it's time.
Okay.
But notice the one who wants to know, wants to believe, who thinks if she did this, that's just your traumatic egoic work to bring into consciousness. And then you step out of the way back into the beginner's mind, the open, available, vulnerable, frightened. So I remember quite well the night that particular fear was not stopped. And I knew it was happening, and it was amazing. And completely unknown that it was going to happen. I'm not going to talk about the circumstances, doesn't matter. Everybody's circumstances and how that happens is unique for them. I know somebody where it happened at a bus stop. She wrote a whole book about it. I was very close to her. Suzanne Siegel, for anybody who might have known her. She tragically died of a brain tumor at 40. But she was free. Beautiful, wonderful being. I thought now everybody's going to go to the bus stop, Like, after the Buddha, everybody learned how to sit lotus and go under the Bodhi tree thinking they're going to get enlightened. I said, if Buddha had been current and he was, at the bar drinking a beer, sitting on a bar stool, watching a football game and got enlightened, everybody would be doing that. That's called believing and following.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not, and there are people who actually will tell you that you need to do what they did. And honestly, they don't know what you need. But the wisdom that we are knows. And attuning to the presence and our conditioned realm simultaneously will open up that clear guiding force, which we all, every one of us here, has working for us. And you do, certainly. What I love in our group is how people are really honest about their process, because it's showing everyone that it's not about transcending or holding on to bliss or some glorified state of spiritual attainment, which is not what it is, but rather allowing that to happen at the same time, honoring and welcoming and learning how to be a fully conscious, fully human. Because that's what we need to learn, that we are truly not separate from each other. And when we do learn that, if we ever can as a species, which is questionable, we'll actually learn how to coexist, which we're not doing a great job of right now. But we have to learn it here first in ourselves. Okay? So don't be kicked around by the one who thinks she knows.
Okay.
And just, and then also ask for forgiveness for the conditioned self that wants that. Asking for forgiveness and asking for help and deep is very good for those of us who have been only in the driver's seat of control. And then what happens over time is very much what would be called in traditional terms, not my will, but thy will. And then what emerges each moment is true meaning that is unknowable. And at that moment, you are aligned consciously with your destiny. And from that moment on, you are fulfilled, no matter how many more breaths you take this life, or whatever you do or don't do will not matter. You will have realized and aligned in your destiny, and which we can never know. That is something that unfolds for each one of us and reveals itself. And you will be fulfilled from that moment on, whatever happens, and at peace. So hang in there. I know. Big hugs to you.
Thank you. Big hugs to you too.
Thank you so much.